Nebraska Panhandle, not far from Wyoming. We got a massive supercell that's already dropped 2 or 3 tornadoes. Nebraska Panhandle, not far from the Wyoming border. Got a huge supercell in front of us. It's already dropped 2 or 3 tornadoes. It is still tornado warned. We're going to try to go down here on Interstate 80. We're westbound. We're going to try to go south and try to get on the south side of it. We understand it's rain wrapped on the north side. Nebraska in the Panhandle, headed towards North Platte. The supercell is coming just south of North Platte. We're going to try to get on the south side of it. That's how big it is. It goes probably 20 or 30 miles back to the right side of the stream. Very few chasers out here today. A lot of them are down in Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas. This was a big warm day all up and down the middle part of the country. We've got about 4 tornadoes on the ground now from here to Texas. northwest Nebraska in the Panhandle, not far from Wyoming. We're coming up on this huge supercell that's already dropped a tornado 2 or 3 times. There's very few spotters out here on it today. We'll be one of the few. We're going to try to go up here and go south and get on the south side of it. It is still tornado warned, and it's got a super massive hook on it. They lose some time right here. Talking about the one down in Oklahoma. We're in Nebraska on the northwest side in the Panhandle. Going into this large supercell that's still tornado warned. It's dropped a tornado 2 or 3 times already. Several spotters on the ground have reported it. We don't know if it's on the ground now or actually rain wrapped, but we're going to try to go to the south of Interstate 80 and get on the south side of it. If we stay on the north side, it's going to stay rain wrapped. We won't see it. So we're going to try to go to the south. northwest Nebraska, headed over to what was a tornado warned storm. Interstate 80 headed towards North Platte. We're actually going to try to get off up here and go south. We're in north, I believe we're in northwest, we're in the panhandle of Nebraska on the west side, Interstate 80, headed towards North Platte. This storm was previously tornado warned. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they don't put another warning on it. We're going to try to go up here and go south of the interstate and get on the south side of it before it gets to us. Apparently this has been a pretty active day from here in Nebraska all the way down to Texas. Side of Nebraska, we're going, if you got radar, you can see this storm cell out to the west. Actually, it's to the southwest of North Platte, Nebraska. It's been previously tornado warned, and it has dropped apparently a couple of tornadoes out of it. Jimmy, do you know how many it dropped over the course of the last hour? We've been driving and trying to maneuver back down here. We had got a little bit too far north, thinking they were going to break out more up there. And then this one broke out and developed, This one has been together now for several hours. They had one down in Texas or Oklahoma that was actually on the ground for almost an hour. I can't get my radar to update so I can look at the velocities in the storm. There's very few radars out here that cover this area. And I can't find one that's going to give me the relative velocity inside the storm. We have been able to see the storm from a higher degree. Hey, Dan. But we just don't know how high the radar is showing us on the reflectivity, but we can see off and on a hook echo from time to time on this storm. It has dropped a tornado several times based on spotters that are in the area that has actually seen it on the ground. I've seen at least one picture of it on the ground. What's that road up there? 83. We're going to take a left up here shortly and try to get south of this storm. As you can tell, this is a large cell that's developed. It's actually held together now for several hours, which I'm surprised. But it's coming into an area of more destabilization. So I'm actually expecting this thing to redevelop and intensify based on what we're seeing on the radar. The problem we got is not a lot of radars out here, so we don't know how high up the reflectivity is actually what we're getting. Is it a couple of thousand feet off the ground? Is it several thousand feet off the ground? We just don't know. So if you have a radar and you're looking at it, it's the large storm just southwest of North Platte, Nebraska. This thing has been dropping a lot of hail. If you all like my videos, by the way, I posted a really good video. The video quality is not as good as it's going to be once I get the other film put together and re-edit it. But it's of a almost a mile wide tornado we caught 3 weeks ago in Iowa, about 8 miles southwest of Greenfield, that got hit Tuesday of this week. Huge tornado. We actually were on the phone with the National Weather Service in Des Moines today, getting it to all their guys to look at, because we're trying to get them to evaluate exactly what we were able to catch on video at the end of that. It's about an 8-minute clip. We sped the speed up just to a 2 times speed so you can actually see how that supercell and the tornado and the inflow develops. It's probably the most impressive thing I've ever filmed and seen. And I was in emergency management down in Florida, county EMS director over hurricane response, and I filmed certainly a lot of these storms out and about while we're storm chasing. And that was probably the most impressive thing I have seen to date. But we posted this morning. It is up on the channel. When you get a minute, certainly take time to view it. If you like what we're doing and you like the videos that we're providing, including the live feeds like today, please hit the like button and subscribe. We've got another week to 2 weeks we'll be out here doing this on this season, and then it'll be sporadic the rest of the year as I've got time available out of the ICU. But back to this storm. This storm's still holding together. It's still got a hail core in it. Still looks pretty impressive on radar. And again, we're getting ready to take a left up here. We're going to try to get on the south side of it. Just tell me that.
It's going to take us off the interstate quicker and more back roads, or we could go to Wellfleet, or we'll stay on the interstate to exit 177 and go down 83.
Well, that's not going to work because it's going to be past 83 by the time we get there. We're doing some coordination here on the direction, so give me just a minute.
So we could go to Curtis, get off the interstate, and take
Where?
more highways to Curtis.
But where are we going to get off the interstate?
We're going to get off the interstate right here,
What's the name of the area?
just past Lexington,
So we go past Lexington and then
and then get off the
what exit?
interstate.
What exit?
755.
How long would it take me to get there? Indianola.
Yeah.
We're headed towards North Platte. We're westbound on Interstate 80. The storm is directly south of North Platte. It's dropped a tornado several times.
68 miles.
Right now, they have dropped the tornado warning on it, but I look for them to put it back on just any time. My problem is I can't get the radars out here are far and in between, and I can't look at anything but reflectivity on this storm. We can't get into the relative velocity on the inside of it to see if it's trying to reestablish some type of rotation.
Exit 237, 68 miles an hour, 7 minutes.
Okay. And the other one will get me there how quick? Or does it take longer?
It takes about the same time.
So if I take this one, it'll take me straight down, I'll square off.
Yes.
What I'm afraid of, if we come in here, we're going to get right in the middle of that, and I do not want to get right in the middle of that storm.
Okay.
I'm trying to avoid the hail core and getting right in the front of this thing as big as it is. So what is it done here? Get off to get to
237. 237.
right here?
Yes.
Well, we're not even Lexington here. Are we?
We're just about in Lexington. Lexington is just about.
This right, so we hit start there, and let me see if this is the exit on here, get off. This is 3 miles, so it is this exit.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting ready to get off of the interstate and go south. We're going to try to get below the hail core. This thing, the problem we got is this thing is probably about 20 miles to 25 miles in length down this storm path. And the worst part of it is down towards the south end. North Platte ought to be filling this right now, actually. So if you've got the radar and you're looking at it and you see Curtis, we're trying to get below Curtis to Indianola. And if we can get to Indianola, that'll get us on the south side of this storm. So we're going to be taking, what road is it? 283. We're going to take 283 right here and go south of Interstate 80 and try to get south of this thing. For them to put, this is a pretty sparsely populated area except for North Platte. Once you get south of it, there's not a lot of houses. I mean, there is, and you know, if you live in one of them, you get hit, obviously. That's important to you. But North Platte is probably filling some of it right now. The worst part of it, I think, is going to go south of North Platte. And we certainly want to get below the Hellcore. Once we take a left right up here, you'll be able to see the edge of this storm. It won't be but a few minutes before we start getting inside of it. Here.
Yes.
237.
Yes.
All right.
And then as we turn 7 mile, take a left.
I didn't know until a few months ago that a lot of the Walmarts, there's one right in front of us, has a storm shelters built inside of them.
Clear.
So I think we're in Lexington. We're going south. Off to the right, and if we make a small curve down here, you'll be able to see it. This storm looks pretty intimidating. Our problem out here is we're not getting a lot of the programs that we're using. We're not getting updates as fast as we need to be. All right, they just put a new tornado warning on this storm on the south side of it, where we're headed right now. I can see why they did it. This storm is currently just went tornado warned again. I just hope we can get south of it before we meet up with it. I said, this thing looks pretty intimidating. Y'all should be able to see it here in just a second. The south side of it that they put the tornado warning out. There it is right there. Keep going south.
Yes. 32 more miles.
Nebraska. This will be on the backside of the storm. This is observed by weather spotters. Very rural area. It's going to go towards the east center. The tornado will probably be back in here somewhere. So if you're this morning, seek shelter from your windows. The lowest one possible. It's a confirmed right there. Let's get at the car. As you see, he's near the circulation. There's NOAA search here on the throughout this.
Tell me if you see anything at the base of that cloud.
You just said the population and that tornado warning is 200.
How far before I hit this next one? Oh, there we go. And I'm just hoping we get south of this before it crosses. Go over this, around this curve and over this little horizon, I should be able to give you another shot at the base of this storm. We're entering Gosper County. We're entering Gosper County in Nebraska. We're south of Lexington, headed southwest to get below on the south side of this storm. They've just made it tornado warned again. We're off of Interstate 80. We're on State Road 283. And this storm is very large. I think North Platte's going to get hit here just in the next 30 minutes with the north side of this storm.
We're still watching this area of the storm east about this for a potential tornado to be running over the leading edge, presumably near the Ozark area.
Here we go. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. You're going to get a shot at this bottom part of this storm. There's where they've ground spotter has spotted something. That's why this storm has went tornado warned again, and somewhere down here on this south side where we're headed right now. Got to get south of that before we meet up with it. I did not want to get caught in the middle of this storm. We got caught in the derecho in Kansas. We're getting word on one of our other communication ports that this tornado on this storm is actually on the ground and being observed right now. But we want to get south of it before we meet up with it. This thing is huge. We've got to go south on this road for about 8 miles to get back on the back side of it. We should be able to get a real good view of the south side once we get down here. Seen a bridge yet. What road? You know what road? If it's gravel, I'm not taking it. Is there a name to it?
Highway 23. And we'd have to travel 46 miles.
What's the number of the road?
Highway 23.
We're coming up on it now.
In 4.1 miles.
We're crossing a small bridge now. It's supposed to be a road up here, Highway 23. Probably a county road, 23. I bet that was there right there. 3.7 miles. Storm is recycling. If you got your radar, look at it. It's intensifying around the tornado warned area. So we're going to take County Road 23 over to the storm here. This thing looks huge over to our right. I don't know if I can get the camera turned in that direction yet. But as soon as we turn up here on 23, we'll be going towards Curtis, Nebraska. Okay, they have just put a second tornado warning on this storm. And that one's headed towards south of North Platte and a community called Gothenburg. near the Elwood. We're going to take a right up here on County Road 23 and head towards Curtis. I think we got about 2/10 of a mile. I'll be up here where this caution light is. Taking a ride on 23. I think it's a county road is what it looks like. No, it's a state road. So now you'll get a good look at the western Nebraska. We just turned on Highway 23. We're headed directly into this storm that now has 2 tornado warnings on it. One has been observed by a ground spotter. Another one has been indicated by radar. The next town we come to should be a town called Curtis. Oh, wow. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I was hoping we were getting south of it. Oh, man. We may be getting right in the middle of this thing. Yeah, find me an alternate route out of here. If there's another one. We may not make it all the way to Curtis. It looks like we're driving right into the middle of this. I thought we were going to go a little south, but it looks like we're driving right into the middle of it. Well, I go right, I'm going right up in the middle of that other tornado one. See if they can give me another route out here. We're getting to see the lightning from the storm now, off in the distance in front of us. This is a huge storm, I tell you. The whole sky in front of us, all the way out to the south, and as far as we can see to the north, is just as black.
The only way out is to backtrack to 283.
What about taking me down this way? What's the name of that town? Yeah, and use this route right here. There, go, get started. Alright. So we just found our south exit escape route if we need it. We should be able to see the lightning now in this storm. live stream is just not doing this storm justice. This thing is huge. To be honest, I'm not sure how far before we get to Curtis. We are actually going to take a southern route and go to Cambridge instead of Curtis. I'm afraid if we keep going to Curtis, we're going to end up right in the middle of this thing. And it does not look like a fun experience from where we're at right now. So we've got to go curve a little bit to the northwest. Then we're going to go back down to the southwest. And we're going to use that as our escape route to get south of the storm to Cambridge, Nebraska. This storm is just too big. We're west of Nebraska. We were a tornado warned storm, but we're going to divert and take what we think is going to be kind of an escape route for us to the south. This storm is just so big, we just don't want to take any chances. Is that right? What does that one on? We need this on that, Cambridge on that. Yeah, we use radar scope on one of our tablets, and we use my radar on the other one. My radar we use for more of a broad view of the storm, and radar scope we use to show the relative wind velocity inside the storm. The problem we got tonight is there's hardly any radars out here, and we haven't been able to see any velocities inside any of these storms since we left central Nebraska. Frontier County now. Huh? Hold on. U-turn. We're intercepting a large storm in west Nebraska that is tornado warned. This one, was this paved?
I don't know.
No. Yeah. I don't do gravel or
We're clear.
sandy roads, so we will not be taking that route.
Okay, we'll let it reroute us.
As far as I could see, that was nothing but a dirt road with some gravel on it. All it takes is a little bit of water, and then I'm stuck out there, and we are way out in the middle of nowhere. According to some of the information we've got, the population out this way is 200. So there's the south side of this storm. Between us and that bright light is a The other one is just to our north, south of the city of North Platte.
There's 3 now.
They just put a third tornado warning out on this storm. This is going to be a nasty storm when we get to it. I don't know how much cell coverage we're going to have to stay connected. We should, though. We're not that far from North Platte. I got my hail shields up. This is going to be a bad, bad storm when we get to it. Talking about on the other is several of the storm chasers are stuck. That's why I don't get on dirt roads or gravel roads. Lots of lightning in this storm. This is going to be a nasty, nasty storm when we get to it. can't even see the right side of this storm. All I see is darkness up that way.
That some areas here, northeast Altus, picked up a significant amount of rain. I mean, we're talking 100+ inches of rain first an hour. Wow. Some areas
I thought you said this was going to be a safe route to Curtis. We'll be okay.
It's crazy.
Closer we get, the more you can see the cloud structure and the lightning in front of us. This thing's going to be a nasty storm. They have just put the 4th tornado warning out on this storm. We now have 4 tornado warnings on this storm that we're driving into. Here, get your hand on. Give me mine when you get yours on.
New tornado warning. Back up in Nebraska, that's going to be south of North Platte. Strength, seek shelter. Away from windows, close where possible. That's the main area of circulation.
Let me tell you, I've been doing this for years. I've been in multiple hurricanes, and this one's got me a little worried, just from what I can see. Holy cow. Hold on to a second. Y'all gotta see. Look at that. Look at that. This storm has a lot of instability inside of it. That is impressive what I see above us. This is going to be a very violent storm when we get into it. The cloud formations above us indicate a lot of instability. Lightning is increasing. We've got at least 3 tornado warnings on this storm. Worried enough about this storm, we're putting our helmets on, put it that way. It looks nasty out to the west. We're in West Nebraska. This is the storm that just is passing south and over North Platte, Nebraska. You can see that cloud formations above us up there. Indicating a lot of instability above us. Lots of lightning out to the front of us where the storm actually is. We have lightning that's covering at least a 10-mile stretch in front of the vehicle. Holy cow. going to be a nasty, nasty storm.
Southwest right now.
We think it's re-intensifying. This thing looks a lot worse than it did just 15, 20 minutes ago.
No orders on the line tomorrow. We'll check the time tomorrow. I know we'll be live Saturday and Sunday. We're gonna have 2 big hours.
All these
Saturday
on.
and Sunday.
Or all those on.
Once now, I'm going to try to use a different plug and change the where I'm plugging in.
Tomorrow looks like we might be live. There's gonna be an elevated traffic in southern Wisconsin right during mid to late afternoon, so we might be live tomorrow.
We're in western Nebraska. For those who just joined us, we're coming into a little community called Curtis, Nebraska, south of North Platte. Well, it's a really nice area if you don't have a major storm with 3 tornado warnings on it coming right at you. Kind of worried about this one. We went ahead and put on our safety gear. I'm gonna stop right up here on top of this hill. We need to kind of survey our surroundings just a little bit. Yes, we're still headed towards Curtis. I am not sure how far out we are, but it's probably another 5 to 6 miles at least. The lightning, the intensity of the lightning is getting pretty bad. We're getting ready to turn back to the right. You'll get to see the storm, especially the lightning, a little bit better. We got some major cloud to ground lightning going on. Major cloud to ground lightning. I don't know if it's an omen, but everybody we meet is going in the opposite direction of us, and there's nobody behind us going in this direction. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. But we got hit, we got in the middle of that derecho in Kansas last week in the hailstorm. We were about 10 or 15 miles from Greenfield, Iowa, Tuesday when it got hit, but we got pushed back by the second tornado that pushed us back to a little town called TRUOR. get up here on this hill. Up a new all this light. For those who have joined, we're in west Nebraska, headed in this huge storm. It's got intense ground to cloud to ground lightning, like there. We've got at least 2 tornado warnings on this storm near North Platte. Still haven't seen anybody behind me coming in this same direction. Everybody appears to be going in the opposite direction. May have been a tornado north of North Platte City here in Nebraska. We're about 10 or 15 miles south, getting ready to go through this storm here shortly. We do have a tornado warning on this end of the storm where we're at. We'll be coming into the community of Curtis here shortly. I can see the lights off in the distance. I'm going to zoom back out so you can see some of this lightning. I've got the camera pointed in the direction of where the tornado warning is. You can see the amount of lightning going on in that direction. Once we get to Curtis, and free and go south. we've got the camera pointed in the direction of where that rotation has been seen on radar. We've got lots of lightning out here tonight. We haven't got to the storm yet, but we're not far from it. We're getting ready to go through a little community called Curtis, Nebraska. And then we're going to go south on Highway 83. Wasn't ignoring y'all there. We just realized we're at a quarter tank of gas and we're out in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. So we had to locate a gas station real quick that was close enough we could get to it to top off. We just hope we can get there before they lose power in this storm. The canopy above us is actually that black. We're at dusk, but the canopy, the clouds above us are just that low and just that black. Am I going the right direction? What town is it in? You calling them? Okay. Then we absolutely gotta have some gas. I don't know if that's a, oh my God, wait, what is that up there? We may have a funnel cloud right here on top of us. I gotta get out and look. People, we got a funnel cloud right here on top of us. Holy cow. Holy cow. We believe we've got a funnel cloud right here on top of us. We came over this small rise here. This particular tornado warning on this end of the storm was radar indicated. Oh, wow, no.
Hi, what time are you open until? You're 24 hours. And,
Okay.
but it's not the one, it's the one further down the road. Okay, thank you.
How far away?
Bye.
How far away?
Hold on, let me show you which one I just called. The one 8.7 miles wouldn't answer. This is 23 miles away.
We can make either one of them, but right now I'm worried about this, what we got right here. Oh my God. I'm gonna try to turn the camera here in just a second. I just gotta make sure what I'm looking at. I'll tell you, before I go down, I need to turn and let y'all see. Whoa. I'm going to turn and let y'all see this. Then we have got to find us some gas before we get down in the crux of this storm. hope you'll be able to see it when I get turned around here. I was afraid of that. Let's see. I thought we had a lowering right there in front of us. See if we can get a lightning strike to show you what's up there. But we've got the tornado warning on this end of the storm was radar indicated. So we could have rotation just about anywhere in the storm. Our biggest problem right now is we've got to top off with gas before we get caught in this storm, and the gas station loses power. And they're not that far away from us. And then we'll get back on this storm. Man, we are out in the middle of, I have no idea. We're in west Nebraska, headed towards Trent, where they had the rotation on the radar. We're just beginning to get some rain.
3/10 of a mile, you're going to take that's got the directions to the gas station.
Which one?
To that center,
The 23-mile one or the 28-mile?
it's 34 miles actually.
Where's it at? We found a 24-hour gas station. And we've got enough, I believe, to get us there. Worst thing can happen, we run out of gas and we lose our cell coverage out here in the middle of nowhere. You don't want to try that 1.8 cylinder Ford Focus, so we've got we're not eating a lot of gas up, but we are under a quarter tank of gas. And I don't know how we got there, because it doesn't seem like it was that long ago I gassed up. We now have 4 tornado warnings on this storm. So we've got about an eighth of a tank.
That was the 24-hour.
Can you call the other one? Be the third number down. No, there's no mile marker posts out here on this road. We're in Curtis, Nebraska. We're hoping there may be something here. hooked up. Even if they're closed, they may have left their gas pumps on. Well, that ain't good. Yeah, indeed, that is tornado sirens that y'all hear.
The gas station is still 6 miles away. The closest gas station is still 6 miles away.
What's the closest gas station?
Here on the highway. You just circle the block, you'll see it.
Okay.
Circle the what?
Down that way. There's one right down here. Yeah, but the pumps might be on. Alright, good news. Full tank of gas. However, no canopy over the gas pump. Small town out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm soaking wet, but I don't care because I got a full tank of gas. I don't know where I'm at, but I got a full tank of gas to get me out of here. And we still have not ran into the main part of this storm yet. But the third tornado warning they just put out is right over the top of us. And we're about to get hit with it just any minute. So we're in Curtis, Nebraska, western Nebraska. This storm has 3 tornado warnings on it. One of them coming right towards us. We're in a small community town called Curtis. Tornado sirens have been going off since we got here until just a few seconds ago. We still have not went through the heart of this storm yet. It is still coming at us. So we're going to backtrack, which is about the only thing we can do, and try to stay ahead of this storm. And I was sweating bullets on the gas. Maybe we won't go. Maybe we'll follow him. He must have had a touchdown or something. I used to be a street paramedic, so if there's anything I can do while I'm here in this small town, since they bailed me out on the gas by keeping their pumps on, even though the station was closed, I'll follow this officer and see if there's anything I can do to help. We can find out where he went to. We're still headed westbound. I don't even know what road we're on. We on 83? No, not yet. So we're headed toward State Road 83, which comes south out of North Platte, Nebraska. And I believe we're on State Road 23. The main part of this storm has not even got to us yet, but we've still got 3 tornado warnings on it. We almost ran out of gas, and I'm going to tell you, we're about 30 to 40 miles from the nearest city that would have had another gas station that would have been open. But thank goodness they left their pumps on tonight, even though they were closed. The next gas station we talked to that was open was like 40 miles away or something like that. And I'm going to tell you, we are way out in the middle of Nebraska. I don't know. Alright, we're getting close to getting in the middle of this. I'm worried enough about this storm, based on what we've heard about it, that we are wearing our safety equipment, and we've got our safety goggles here in our laps if we do run into hell. I do have the hell shields up though, so get ready. Oh, this is getting ready to get really, really nasty, guys. We are driving right into the heart of this storm in western Nebraska. And the part we're driving into right now has a tornado warning on it. We just had law enforcement passes. I don't know where he went to. So they may have had a touchdown, but the tornado siren in the town was going off as we pulled up to gas. We got a lot of lightning in this storm. A lot of lightning in this storm. Again, we're in West Nebraska. We just left the small community town of Curtis. We're headed to the west into the storm. I see they just dropped the tornado warning on our portion of the storm. We should be to State Road Highway 83 in just a minute, I think. But again, this has been one heck of a trip this last 30 minutes. Almost ran out of gas. But that's been fixed. We are wearing our safety equipment just because of the severity of this storm. Whoa! Lots of lightning in this storm. Alright, here we go. Lots of lightning in this storm. I'm not sure about how far we are south of North Platte, Nebraska. Probably at least 20 miles or more. We should be coming up on State Highway 83 here just any minute. When we get there, we're going to go south. I have this one up towards North Platte, the other one down to the south, showing it going to Indianola. So we're going to go up here and take a left and go south towards Indianola. It's such a rural area. Like I said, since I used to be a street paramedic and I've got some equipment with me, I'm going to stay in this area just in case anything happens. But right now, Indianola seems like it's in the direct path of this next tornado warning. I believe it's radar indicated only. I got my radars back up, so my radar scope's back up, so I'll be able to see any rotation in this storm. We didn't have it for a long time, like a half an hour or more. We have two different radars we're using in the vehicle. Radar scope for our deep rotational issues. And then we've got my radar, which is a more broader radar that gives us kind of a better view of the storm itself and the whole region. Half mile turn left. What road am I on now?
Right now you have 23 degrees.
Come here. Head south. Let me see my route. I don't want to get back up my fingers again. Okay. And that's going to take me to Indianola. Okay. Oh, here's 83 right here. Oh. So we've made it to Highway 83. We're getting ready to go south. We're going to Indianola. Indianola is in the direct path of this tornado warning portion of this storm. They've lifted the tornado warning that was on the part of the storm where we're at right now.
We're here.
Oh man, the lightning. Lots of lightning in this storm. But I do have a full tank of gas. Feel much better about that. I'm wet. There wasn't a canopy over the gas pump, but I have a full tank of gas. So we just left the town of Curtis, and we're headed south on the Highway 83. Wow. Towards Indianola, Nebraska. This storm has held together now for almost 3 to 4 hours. We did get gas. The station was closed, but one of the locals said they left the pumps open, and sure enough, the pumps were still on. I was afraid they were going to lose power before we got there because the tornado sirens was going off in the town when we got there. Oh, wow. Major cloud to ground lightning. Major cloud to ground lightning. Like I said, we're headed towards Indianola. Are y'all just spotting?
Yeah.
Have y'all seen anything?
No.
We saw what looked like a lowering on the other side of Curtis, but it never came down.
Right. We seen one way up north.
Is there anybody down in Indianola?
I don't think anybody's out to Iowa or anything. They might be being on that channel.
Y'all stay safe.
Yep, you do.
Oh, the backup. That was the local fire department here in the Curtis area. They were out spotting. They said one of their other spotters saw something out to the northwest, but they haven't seen anything here. They've now dropped the tornado warning that was on the south part of the storm, headed towards Indianola, but I think we're going to drive down there anyway. Maybe. We are really out there. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask.
in western Nebraska. We just went through a small town called Curtis, where thank God the only gas station left its pump zone, even though it's closed. We were down to about 1/8 of a tank, and the next closest station is 40 miles away. This storm now radar looks like it's turned into a squall line. There's still a tornado warning on the north part of it, up towards North Platte, Nebraska, near Interstate 80. To be honest with you, I think we're going to reevaluate our situation here. Because I don't want to go deeper out into the country. Yeah, if we keep going down to the south, now that they've dropped this tornado warning, if something was to happen, we're going to run out of cell coverage here in a minute. So we're going to go back up 83 towards North Platte, where they've still got a tornado warning on this storm. And that's going to be Interstate 80 anyway, that we're going to end up having to take. Tomorrow we'll be in Oklahoma City, which is quite a ways from where we're at right now. This storm has had some pretty impressive lightning in it. Believe it or not, if that black canvas cloud wasn't over the top of us, it is still light out here. I can see the light on the back side of this storm. If we make a curve up here, I'll try to point it out to you, but we can actually see light out to the west. Worried about that gas stand. So we might be in a small car, but this thing's loaded down, and what I worry about is we added a roof rack where we carry 2 extra tires, spare tires. The big rolling fork tornado last March down in Mississippi, I changed 3 tires in less than 3 hours down there when that big tornado went through rolling fork. There was so much debris on the road that we got so many flat tires, I ended up having to change them. So 1 I fixed, 2 I changed. We had 2 tires with a stent. Now we carry 3 tires with us, and I've got 2 of them in the roof rack up top. However, that roof rack takes about 8 miles a gallon off of our range. Favorite travel snacks. Anything we can get our hands on we carry enough in case we got stranded. We'd have food with us. We also carry plenty of drinks. I don't have a favorite travel snack. Double stuffed Oreos, I reckon, for me. But I don't eat a lot of snacks. But we do carry them in case we need them. Just to give you some kind of idea of what it's like being on the road, we've put 1,900 miles on the road in the last 48 hours or so, and we've had about 8 hours of sleep or less. So it's kind of like camping out. The last 2 nights, instead of a hotel, we've had to sleep in the car because there just wasn't enough time to drive between. We were in Iowa for that tornado on Tuesday, and then we drove back down to Texarkana, Texas that night to catch the storms yesterday, and then today we drove from there back up to Nebraska to catch these storms up here this evening. However, tonight we will be getting a hotel room. I need be nice to have a good bath and a good night's sleep. However, we have to reevaluate that because we will be in Oklahoma City tomorrow, but that's not as long of a drive as the other two were. If you haven't seen the video I posted this morning from the almost mile-wide tornado that we filmed in Iowa 3 weeks ago, almost to the day and hour that Greenville got hit Tuesday. Because we drove through the town of Greenville. I haven't posted that video yet, but it's kind of like a before picture of Greenfield, Iowa, before it got hit Tuesday by that tornado. But we did post the video of a mile-wide tornado. We had chased it for an hour and a half till we finally got in front of it. And when it came out of the side of the supercell precipitation, well, let me just put it this way. It's the largest tornado I've ever seen or videotaped. So you might want to take time sometime to take a look at it. If you like the videos, please, hit the like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to know when we post. We've got about 60 hours worth of video from the last 6 weeks that we have not edited and highlighted and posted. Lots of good video. Including the derecho we got called in last week, but I've got to edit that one. There's a little bit of language in that one that I've got to cut out. I thought we was gonna lose our wind chills and everything before I could get the hail chills up, and we had 80-mile-an-hour winds going on in the middle of that. I didn't even have time to put a rain suit on, and I stayed wet, soaked to the bone for 8 hours before I was able to change. But that video's got to be edited out for language, or we're going to have to rate it pretty high. In reference to that video I was telling you about on that tornado in Iowa from 3 weeks ago, we also shared that with the National Weather Service in Des Moines,
today. And I'm also, they've asked for the raw video, but the videos are so big I'm having to burn them to a zip drive, and I'll be mailing them the raw video of that tornado. I can see why it'd be very frustrating to be sitting in a weather center watching all this on radar, putting out the warnings, and never really get to see what's happening on the ground, except through videos and, you know, live feeds like this one. Or in this case, they told me they had no other reports, even though they had that supercell tornado warned for over 4 hours as it traveled through 2 states. Apparently we were the only ones that caught the video of that particular tornado. It actually formed a small one, dissipated, formed a large one, reformed it a couple of times, and then had something happen at the end of it that was so large, it took up about 4 acres across the fields of inflow into it. It looked like some kind of Armageddon movie. That's why we had contacted them, and I'm also contacting a couple of associate professors that teach meteorology to evaluate that video and tell me exactly what we did videotape and see out of that storm. If you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's the most impressive thing, and I've been through a dozen tornadoes, you know, filmed several, a dozen hurricanes. I've been through several tornadoes we videotaped. I've videoed a lot of supercells, but what happened in that storm was something I had never seen before, and it's actually on the last 3 minutes of the video we posted this morning. So I hope to hear from the Weather Service. I know they're busy with Greenfield being hit Tuesday, but once they get a chance to review the video, they're going to let me know what they think. And I hope these 2 associate professors at 2 of the universities gives me their input as well. Now, looking on the radar on this particular storm we were just on, it looks like it's more of a linear squall line, and is finally losing its impact since the sun's gone down. But it had been moving along pretty strong for about 4 hours. I have not seen the video from some of the other chasers, but I understand there was tornadoes in Oklahoma and Texas as well, and sounds like it's been a pretty busy day across the country. We do appreciate everybody coming in and watching. I don't mind questions if you ever have any questions. If I'm driving through driving rain, a lot of times I don't get a chance to look over and see the questions you may have. But like now, if you had any specific questions, we don't mind answering them. About the storm, about how we prepare for this. I can tell you, when you see storm chasers and they look like, they haven't had sleep in 5 or 6 days, they probably haven't had sleep in 5 or 6 days. I mean, like we were saying, we were in Iowa on Tuesday, Texarkana yesterday, and back up here in Nebraska today. And by the time we get back to the hotel down towards Oklahoma City tonight, we will have put about 2,400 miles on the road just since Monday. And 2 nights sleeping in the car. But if
if I had choice of going camping or doing this, I think I'd do this. We are a storm chaser. I used to be a county EMS director in Florida. I was also part of the emergency management team. Probably the last hurricane I coordinated the EMS response was Hurricane Opal in 1995, and we brought in 65 ambulances from outside the panhandle of Florida to help us. We got 18 inches of rain the day before landfall, and everybody says, well, you ought to be used to tornadoes then if you've been through almost a dozen hurricanes. Let me tell you, we know about them hurricanes in advance, sometimes weeks in advance, and we're hunkered down 2 days before they ever come ashore. These tornadoes, and in particular the one that I posted this morning, you'll see a tornado form, drop, and lift in less than 3 minutes. And that's what's so bad about tornadoes, is they're so unpredictable. And the one that hit Tennessee on the 8th of May hit 3 miles south of our house. I was actually chasing in Kentucky. It took me an hour and a half to get back down to the location where it hit. And when it tried to reform after it went through that community, it tried to reform near my house. Luckily, I had called ahead of time, saw the rotation on the radar, and got everybody out of my house and called my neighbors and got them to evacuate the area. Called some of the nurses I worked with at the hospital, texted them, and told them they might be in the path of it. Tornadoes, you never know where they're going to hit. The worst thing you can do is sit at home and hope that the storm that's coming towards your town doesn't hit your house. Some of the people I talked to from the tornado that hit Tennessee said they heard it, they never saw it, even though storm chasers, the news media, everybody, they had pictures of it on the TV and all, because as soon as it formed, people that took pictures and posted them, but a lot of people in that area didn't take notice to it. That particular house, they had just built it, happened to build a basement. 7 people got in the basement. When they come up, the 2 stories above ground was totally gone. They said if they hadn't had a basement, they would have died, all of them. So everybody should be aware, have a radar on your telephone, and understand one thing: if you get an alert on your phone that says there's a tornado in your area, you are very, very close, like within 5 miles of that tornado. Whether it's radar indicated or on the ground, and you need to take immediate action. In the Rolling Fork tornado last year, everybody had been calling for a long time, telling every outlet, every emergency agency that a large tornado was on the ground. And still, we sat there knowing that people were dying as it went through the town. And it turned out there was over 25 to 30 people killed, because all they had to do was get in their car and go south 2 miles out of town, and they would have been out of the path of that tornado. can still see the northern part of this storm up north towards North Platte, Nebraska. It is pretty intense up that way. There's no tornado warnings on this storm at this time, and it has passed the city of North Platte. But the lightning is still pretty intense. There's still severe thunderstorm warnings out on this storm. You have North Platte in there. Mining Master, to answer your question a little bit more about are we storm chasers, I saved up all my PTO at the hospital, and this year I took off. I work in the ICU. I took off almost 6 weeks straight. I went back for 3 days to work to rest up, and then we came back out. So we'll be back out for another week. And but Sunday we got to be back in Tennessee, because Sunday is supposed to be really, really bad for Tennessee and Kentucky, and they've been predicting that for almost a week or more now, and that almost never happens. When the Severe Forecast Center in Norman is predicting a week in advance, it's going to be they've already got a 3 out of 5 risk factor on it. You know it's probably going to be a 4 out of 5 by Sunday. It's going to be a bad day. Storm shelters, and there's so many trees you can't see the tornado unless you're being aware, watching the radar, staying tuned to the TV. One thing I need to warn everybody about: by the time you see the radar on TV, or by the time we see radar in our car, because we have to take that into consideration, that radar is already 5 minutes delayed. So wherever it shows a storm, so we lost our cell coverage there for a second. So just remember, anytime you see radar, by the time we see the new radar update, the storm has moved 5 miles down the road. You are not seeing radar in real time. And we have been in situations to where we have noticed that the radar is almost 10 minutes behind what we're actually seeing on the ground. So if the TV news says the storm's 20 minutes from your location in whatever community you live in, that it's half that time, or take 5 to 10 minutes off that time. That was a sound I ain't heard before. If you like our life in the near future, And we got about 60 hours of video that we've got to go through and edit. You'll know when we post those videos, or you'll know when we go live. And we try not to go live until there's something for you to see. You don't want to watch us driving down the road for an hour and a half before we ever do or get near a storm. We want to make it interesting for you. What amazes us is how many people around the world watch this channel. We've had Switzerland, Poland, France, Italy, a lot of people from South America and Canada, because the United States is the only place that has this much weather-related incidents. Not just tornadoes, but weather-related incidents. This has been a long day up here in West Nebraska. We drove up here from Texarkana, Texas area this morning. And we don't look at locations based on how many miles we have to drive to get there. We more or less look at it as time. Can we get there in time to make it a productive day for storm chasing? If we can, then we're going to do it. 500 miles, 8 hours, we look at it as 8 hours, not 500 miles. So since we started, and I've got a new vehicle, some of y'all may know, we totaled our vehicle out in January in the Florida Panhandle, storm chasing when those tornadoes hit Panama City and the Gulf Coast. We had a huge oak tree come down in the road in front of us, and we just couldn't miss it. So we're actually in a new vehicle, or not a new vehicle, but it's a 2007. Nobody wants to bring a new vehicle out here to storm chase. Totally renovated, did some work on it mechanically to make sure the undercarriage was capable of handling a lot of miles. I love the engines in these cars. They can last up to 400,000 miles. This is the second 2007 Ford Focus we've utilized for this. The first one I totaled out, so we kept that car after insurance settled, and bought this one, and then basically are cannibalizing the other one for any parts we may need. But these engines are really great, 4-cylinder, good on gas. But since the 20th of April, I think we're sitting at about somewhere between 12 and 14,000 miles since the 20th of April. And by the time we get back to Tennessee Saturday night, we probably will be somewhere around 16,000 miles. So, it's kind of like Pecco's Hank said on one of his videos. You travel 600 miles to see a little bit of rain, travel 800 miles in that direction to see a little bit of rain. A lot of driving, a lot of waiting. But when you do see something, and we've been very lucky on probably 80%, 85% of our storm chases, we have seen something worth videotaping, something worth posting. And in the meantime, we have met an awful lot of nice people, including people in the Greenfield, Iowa area 3 weeks ago when we come through there, that we talked with, and we had to share a canopy with a Adair County deputy sheriff because of how big the hail was coming down. So it was a little upsetting to see Tuesday that town got wiped out by that tornado. And that was I'm very surprised that the Weather Service only classified it as an EF3. It just looked like EF4 damage to me. And I can say that because I used to do damage assessment. And I did it for a very long time when I was in the Panhandle of Florida in emergency management and disaster recovery. It's just that there was an awful lot of houses taken to the ground. There was windmills taken to the ground, and it just seemed like it was more on the EF4 level than an EF3 level. But then again, the El Reno tornado back in 2013, they classified it as only an EF3, even as big as it was. And the fact that Doppler radar on the ground at that tornado event measured wind velocities over 300 miles an hour. Personally, I don't like the way they classify tornadoes. It's the only thing we got now. You know, it's like blood pressures at home and what we take in the hospital. Technically, an external blood pressure is only 80% accurate, but it's the only thing we've got, and we've used it enough that it's a basic measurement for medical practices. But just like that mile-wide tornado that had probably, I stopped counting at 9, but there was probably a dozen small vortices underneath of it. That tornado didn't even get classified nor counted in the count because it never hit anything, and I'm the only one that verified that it was ever there. So a lot of people's talked about it, and I'm sure that somebody's working on it, but we need another way to classify tornadoes, or multiple way of classifying tornadoes. Because if I videotape a mile-wide tornado, and whether I videotaped it or somebody else videotaped it, whether it hit something or not, shouldn't be the determining factor of whether it gets counted or not counted. It should be the fact that it was seen, documented, and probably for every tornado that gets counted, there's 2 tornadoes that doesn't. That's like, does a tree fall in the forest, does it make a noise? Well, I'm sure it does. But if you're not there to hear it, doesn't make a noise. Same thing with tornadoes. So if you watch that video of that mile-wide tornado we videotaped just south of Greenfield, Iowa 3 weeks ago to the day that they got hit Tuesday, as big as that tornado was, as impressive as the video was, that tornado did not get counted. And a lot of tornadoes that the storm chasers document and everybody posts on their individual channels, a lot of those don't get counted because they don't hit anything and they don't cause damage, and our entire tornado rating system is based on damage, not the fact that it happened, not the fact that it could be a mile wide, Not the fact that, you know, Doppler radar on the ground documented winds of over 300 miles an hour. It's 100% dependent on damage, which makes absolutely no sense to me. So looking at radar, this particular storm we were on this afternoon in east Nebraska is definitely fizzling out now that the sun went down. All tornado warnings have came off of it. It's still got several severe thunderstorm warnings on the south side, but it looks like it's breaking up. And I haven't looked at the rest of the country to see what the radar is in other states. I think they were very surprised there was tornadoes in Oklahoma and Texas today that was spotted and videoed by storm chasers. But sometimes it happens that way. And so we're probably going to shut this feed down. Appreciate everybody watching. Please hit the subscribe button and come back when we go live again or when we post videos. Hit the little bell so you can get notified when we post them. And I know we'll be out for at least another week doing this full time. Then I got to go back to my real job in the ICU. But we will be out.
We're coming up on Interstate 80.
What?
We're coming up on Interstate 80.
Oh, okay. So we will be out and about every chance we can get to come out. We do have a fall tornado season that's generally more focused in the southeast, in Dixie Alley, and we definitely do a lot of chasing then. But we've got a whole bunch of videos we got to post from the last 6 weeks as soon as we get a chance to hit them. So enjoyed it. Hope you had fun. We were a little tense because of the intensity of this storm. So we got to assume I can take my helmet off now. And the fact we almost ran out of gas, but was able to solve that problem too. And I think we'll end the stream here because there's just not much more to show you. But it's always exciting. I never turn the cameras on unless there's something for you to see in the next few minutes. I don't want you to have to bear through an hour and a half or 2 hours of us driving around before we ever see anything. So always remember, when we turn the cameras on at the beginning of any of our live streams, you're going to see something in the next 30 to 45 minutes that probably is going to be pretty dramatic. Again, we encourage you to go see that video we posted this morning of that big tornado in Iowa 3 weeks ago, just south of Greenfield. They got wiped out Tuesday, and I really feel for those people. We do not accept donations for disaster victims ourselves, but I encourage you, as a former board member with the Red Cross, to donate to the Red Cross either directly or through your cell phones. There's a number you can call. It's easy to find, and that will donate each time you call it or text it. It'll donate $10 to the American Red Cross, and they are the only organization that has a congressional mandate to actually assist during every single disaster event, and that is a congressional mandate. So good night. See you next time.